Hey guys, so welcome back. So today, after deciding what I was gonna do with my 6600 XTs, I decided that I was gonna mine Meowcoin. And what did I do after the fact? I reached out on Discord to Andrew, the Meowcoin. Am I saying that? Mew as in cat, right? Meowcoin, Meow. Did you say Mew or
Yeah,
Meow?
it's Meowcoin, but the
Meow,
ticker is
Meow. Okay.
mewc. So
He is going to tell us all this great stuff about it. How, what, where, when, and how, when did he decide to do all this, and why he's getting into crypto with a cat coin when going against all these other dog coins that we have going on right now, especially with the likes of Elon Musk. So Andrew, take it away. What's going on? How you doing?
yeah, mate. Look, I'm good. So just thank you for the time, and hello to all your audience. And it's a pleasure to be here, and grateful that you've wanted to kind of dig a little bit deeper. So on the Discord, like my name's Andrew, but on the Discord you see me as Meow Man, and my co-founder Meowmancer. He and I sort of were the starters of the project, and it all sort of happened about 2 and a bit months ago when we were sitting around just having a couple of drinks and chatting about things. And we're both GPU miners. The merge was coming. Things weren't looking great for GPU mining, and we were sort of talking about the idea of how do we fix this situation, create an ecosystem for miners to actually be able to have something to mine. We were also talking about our cats. So both of them are shelter cats or street cats that we rescued. Just sort of had that light bulb moment. We went, why don't we start a cat coin? Some code.
That
Why don't we get someone to help us to do it? Yeah, away she went.
That is awesome. But what I really want to know is, how did you gain that traction for all these GPU miners on YouTube to start mining Mealcoin? Like, where did that come from? I know it's not like a marketing thing, right? How did you guys get your name out there?
I think it's a couple of things. One, mining pool stream or mining pool stats.stream is obviously a resource that a lot of miners use. That clicking on that new coins and you get a lot of stuff that pops up. And I think people use that as a way to understand what's a great way to spec mine. Because of the circumstances that we're in, we're obviously in a speculative market. Spec mining is something that would be much beneficial in the long run. I guess you pay for a little bit of electricity in the hope that you're going to gain. So I think that started it. I also think as well, we benefited from the merge. People really wanted to sort of work out what they could do next. And so Meowcoin was an option for them based off the fact that it was new. It's got an idea behind it. What we're doing is genuine. Like we're actually donating to animal shelters, as we say, and we're building a roadmap. And so people look at that and they go, okay, I'm keen. I'm interested. What we also wanted to craft was a community that was healthy. There's a lot of communities out there that aren't fantastic in the way that they treat each other. We wanted to build a community that was about inclusivity, no toxicity in the channel itself. Basically, miners helping miners. And I think when people get that and they understand that that's what we're trying to actually build, and we want to have something that's a little bit more philanthropically minded in terms of the project itself. Yeah, they go, okay, this it's got the cuteness of a meme coin, but it's a serious project. And
Right.
you go for that point. I think people did take us as a bit of a meme joke, and I can understand that.
I
But
mean,
as you start to deliver on your project, it
right. I'm
happens.
not I'm not gonna lie. I guess that little GIF cat icon that you have as your mascot does kind of remind me of like the Doge dog, or like that look, right? So that look and feel of it, but just the opposite, totally opposite, which would be the cat. Now, I have to ask, like, between you and your partner, are you guys planning to expand the team, or like what's the percentage of dedication to this project? Because I know that this is definitely not your full time, right? Because more or less it's a coin that you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So what's that going to look like?
Yeah. So at the moment, we've got a couple of devs that are helping us on a contract basis that are invested in what we're trying to do, and we pay them. We have a small but dedicated group of who we call the alley cats, who are, I suppose, our ongoing staff that help us. Mansour
Right.
and myself both have a full-time job. So I work full-time in the liquor industry in Australia, and he has his own role in a company over in the States. Got a dedicated team of volunteers who are helping with some of the other things that are going on at the same time. So we're kind of community members coming together in a part-time way to build a project out. I mean, expansion obviously would be fantastic. I think the reality is we've got to deliver on what we're trying to do first before we can even begin to kind of contemplate where to next. And as the coin and the project grows and there's some opportunity, anything's possible, but we're dedicated to fulfilling our roadmap, which is there's some technological things that we want to bring in, and there's also some philanthropic goals that we have. Like we really want to donate a stack of cash to animal shelters. I mean, that's awesome.
Now I notice, I think it's more than just cats though that you're supporting, right? I mean, I think on the website, or at least what I read, it was like animals in general, not just specific to cats, but your focus mainly in the beginning was cats, stray cats.
Yes. So we have obviously an affinity with stray cats, and one of our partners is specifically dedicated to cats in what they're doing. So Heavenly Pets, they're focused there. But what we wanted to do was find organizations which obviously had a crypto donation element to it. So utilizing either the giving block or another mechanism where we can essentially donate to the cause. So Forgotten Animals, which is one of our other partners, they are helping a lot of domestic but also wild animals at the same time. And I suppose that the purpose of what we're trying to do is go, yes, we love cats. We want to be cat-centered as much as possible, but, all furry friends should be treated well. And if money is going to causes and a dog might benefit, then, so be it. We're not opposed to it. But obviously we're very much around personality-wise the cat element, because they're cute. Like, let's be real.
Okay, so
Forgotten Animals is just
this is what I was referring to now. When I saw this, it was like, oh, it's not just cats, it's I guess other animals, right? Other animals that I guess needs be supported in a way. And then you mentioned also Heavenly Pets. So these are collaborations that you have with these organizations already right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So we will be donating in an ongoing way to these organizations. Basically, we do a donation every Friday, which equals roughly to about one a month, which is great. So we wanted to kind of reach a point where we had some existing relationships so that we're supporting these charities or these animal shelters in a consistent way, because we know that we're only one organization. We can make a difference to a group by consistent supporting them. And we do try to keep the community involved in our decision-making process. So the donation number 8, which you see just there, we actually voted for who the best group was, and the community suggested that was the best group to engage with. So we wanted to be collaborative in that sense, because at the end of the day, we have ideas and goals of what we want to do, but the community is the supporting infrastructure.
I've been lurking your Discord. I haven't been saying much, but I see there's a lot of activity going on over there, and I see a lot of guys very into this whole idea and trying to develop the project all together. And of course I see you active, and that's how I reached out to you and got you on here now, which is awesome, because I feel like this is it's very niche, right? You have a goal, and it's not a far-fetched goal. That's how I see it. It's really down to earth and really realistic. I mean, you have like these, you have less than $1,000 here, and it just feels like it's achievable, right? Because all these guys are mining these coins. If they, if the coin price goes up, like right now, it's been going up like 1.27% just for today. Where do you see this going? Like, how much further do you think this can go based on what you've experienced now? Because you guys have only been around, I think you said like the last 2 months when you first started it, right?
Our goal is obviously to increase the donations that we're giving to people. We have a couple of other more technical goals, which is we're really keen to, and we believe that tokenizing adoption on the blockchain would be a fantastic idea. So that's something that we're quite passionate with. We're actually working or in conversations with petrescue.com.au at the moment, which is a facilitator in Australia of adoption. They're working with us to see if there's some ways that we could engage and help them. So that's one part of the puzzle. The other part of the puzzle is we believe in building a community ecosystem which supports what we're trying to do. So that's obviously the technical roadmap that we're trying to build out. So they're the things that you'll see on our roadmap, like SegWit, Android wallet, iOS wallet, web wallet, Lightning Network. Those things are actually really important, because they allow other businesses to utilize the blockchain for their purposes, which creates sustainability for what we're doing. So we're mindful that whilst what we're trying to do is specifically orientated towards the donation element, we need to build an infrastructure for the ecosystem to support that as well. So it's a bit of a two-pronged phase. So I suppose our aim is to set ourselves up for a really strong project with a long lasting impact that we can grow, that we can utilize, and that we can support, so that it can then support the objective that we sort of set ourselves, which is save some cats, save some animals, and tokenize adoption. So yeah.
I do have another question, and I'm trying to put it into perspective. I'm trying to get a better understanding of it. So I know it's community driven. So that's one aspect. You and your partner is still developing, and you have a bunch of guys helping you guys out, making this project, more grander and bigger and better. My question is, how do you use Mewcoin exclusively for doing this specifically, opposed to, let's just say, another organization comes or another project comes and say, oh, we can do this too? Like, how would you secure your spot with identifying you guys as taking care of the animals, opposed to another project coming in and saying, oh, we could do the same and we can actually do it better? Like, how would you combat that? Or have you guys thought about that at all, actually?
Yeah, look, I think that's a really, really good question, because if you look at any market forces, you've got always businesses vying for the attention of the consumer, etc. So that's a very true thing. And I think if you look at sort of the existing crypto market, there'd probably be questions of, why couldn't you just build what you're doing on another blockchain? Why couldn't you do this, etc., etc. Part of our aim is, one, we wanted to be a driven project. So that's why we constructed the blockchain the way we did, with the dev element being held back, so that we could deploy and push money back into the project. So it becomes a little bit circular in that sense, as we're holding stuff where we're then reinvesting back in. So that's the first part. Second part was, we welcome people to do this. Like, we're not rocket scientists. We're just two guys who are having a go, and we've got a community that wants to support us in doing that. If more people want to do things like this, I say bring it on. Like, I think it's only good, because any community that can do some benefit in the world is a community that should be supported, which is part of my philosophy, is don't drag down others. Don't drag down other projects. Support them. Say they're doing their thing. And I'm quite passionate about that. I think projects should be realizing that whilst they're trying to attract investors through miners and other corporate venture capital funders, right, things of that nature, right? I get that. But to believe that you're an exclusive option, I think is a little bit, we're all here for the same reason. We're all here for a centralized ecosystem that is benefiting the world, right? So if we at least have that as the core foundation of what we're trying to do, we can all work from that basis, right? We're over here doing our thing. Other projects are over there doing their thing. I support anyone who wants to try and come in and do this with their own coin, because
that's fair.
I think it would just drive us to be realizing that we're on the right track of what we're doing. If more people are doing what we're doing.
Just to backtrack on what you just said, getting funding and looking for people to put some capital into the project. Have you guys reached out to any organizations or individuals who are interested in your project specifically to get that kind of funding? Now, the reason why I asked that is because between you and between the co-founders and the developers, monetary financial profits, or somehow to feed all this, because it's a necessity, right? You have to pay in order to play into this game. So has that been a talk, or has that been in a consideration, or are you guys strictly just doing this out of good faith and just doing it for fun?
Look, I think the way we've constructed is by withholding a portion of the blockchain that we got, we can self-fund the project by pouring that money back into development and also the donations. And we would like to go down that route. We are not against anyone who wants to come in and say, hey, we could support you to do this. Like, if someone was to approach us for that, of course we consider it. I suppose what we wanted to build is an ecosystem that was self-sustaining and able to pour back in that sense. So we're not reliant on a third party coming in and saving us, so to speak, or investing in us. We're reliant on how well we treat the community and how well we deliver on our vision. That's what we need to be reliant on. And I feel like as that continues to be uncovered and worked through, other people will begin to appreciate that, buy the coin, use the coin, create the market forces that develop a strong project and the liquidity that goes with it. And at that point, we become quite self-sufficient and power on.
You just raised another question. So as I'm mining these coins, let's just say, and I want to somehow use what I mined to donate my portion, my fair share into supporting the animal groups, right? The groups that you have on your website. I could do that, right? Is there a donate link that I would send my meal coins over to you guys, and you would transfer that over as a donation?
Well, that's sort of the way we constructed it is we wanted to make it so that as long as the miner was mining, they didn't need to worry about anything. So we have a block reward, which is once a minute, you get 5,000 coins.
Wow.
As a block reward. That block reward is then split. So the miner gets 3,000 of that and the donation dev fund gets 2,000. So you just need to kind of worry, I suppose, about what you're doing, because we're taking that portion and worrying about what we're doing.
Okay.
But the onus is on us to give you an ecosystem to be able to use that coin for value, I suppose. So one of the cool things that we've got coming up is we've got two really awesome things. One is a small arcade parlor, which is going to be about some classic games that people love and enjoy. They will be sort of branded in a Meowcoin sense. So we've got a community member who's developing that for us, and that's going to be launched
awesome.
In the next few weeks. And we've also got a bespoke NFT marketplace on its way too. So
I was going to ask that.
Really cool.
I couldn't imagine Meowcoin not having some cat NFTs to to initiate this whole thing going on. The arcade that you're talking about, so basically people would just use their mined Meowcoins to play these games then, right? It's almost like an amusement park. So, you go in there.
Yeah. Our aim is to build like an experience a little bit like, so I'm an 80s kid. I grew up on Street Fighter and all those things. So you get it. Like we'd love to build like that experience where, you know how you used to go and you used to drop, you know, a couple of pennies in and then you're away, or a quarter in. For us, it was 50 cents or 20 cents. And we want to build that experience where it's, you know, you're mining the coin, you drop 50 Meowcoin in and bang, off and away it goes. And we've got like some leaderboards with some sort of top 20s and things like that, which we're, driving people to be quite passionate about hitting those high scores. But we've got quite a list of games coming, which we think will be highly addictive and enjoyable, and get people kind of engaged with the whole, join in and enjoy yourself in a couple of games nights. And that's sort of where our focus is for that. And you're right, with the marketplace, where we're very much about, there's got to be some cat NFTs at some point. We're building that out as we speak, and our aim is to give people what they want. So we're a big fan of that whole 8-bit pixel kind of look. So there's there's one coming that
that's basically what your whole cat logo is. It pretty much looks like an NFT to me. So where do you guys see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you see Meowcoin being or doing in the next 5 years? Which isn't, it's not too far out, right? I would say this is your first year getting into, you're touching a lot of aspects, and looks like you guys are doing a hell of a lot more than what some other projects have done, especially with you guys donating and some of the proceeds from the pools and the earnings going into that already. So where do you see you guys in 5 years?
You're talking to a dreamer, in the sense of, I've always been someone that's wanted to shoot for the stars, because if you shoot for the stars, sometimes you just fall in the clouds, and that's actually not bad. But we want to build an ecosystem where miners can mine profitably at a good rate. That's really critical to us. So we want to build that ecosystem. And we want to build an ecosystem where other businesses will use the platform, which is a lot of the reason why we're doing development of the chain itself. That's quite critical. We feel like business adoption of the chain will secure its long-term future. our goal, I suppose, would be to start to significantly increase our donations. We would love to be donating 6, 7 figures in a year. That would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Like
Yeah.
if we're doing that, like hey, yeah, like we've achieved the goal. People
Right.
can feel happy about that because things are happening in that sense. So I suppose our big goal is essentially build an ecosystem that miners can mine profitably, miners can mine and use it, and miners can mine knowing that what they're doing is contributing to a good cause, and that's our true goal. Build
And
the ecosystem.
are you a miner yourself right now? Of
Oh, I sure
any?
am. Yeah, yeah.
You are. Now, okay, I'm not going to go into the details. If you want to share, that's fine. But are there other projects besides your own that you're mining?
Look, I have a lot of respect for the Flux,
Okay.
the Flux project. I think there's a lot of merit in what they're doing, and in fact, we're trying to work out some ways which we could work with Flux. So I do have a couple of rigs on there. That I genuinely feel like Flux has a fantastic opportunity to forge a path in the Web3 world through what they're offering. With their node structures and stuff like that. Like, I don't fully understand all the technical elements of it, but what I do know is that as the world becomes a more digital place, their role in that will become more important because people will want to know that big businesses in controlling the ecosystem, that people are controlling the ecosystem. And I think that's really critical. Great deal of appreciation and respect for what they're doing. So that's one project that I'm a big fan of. I haven't spent a lot of time looking into Ergo. That's probably one that I should spend a bit more time engaging with and understanding. I do think Casper has some great merit to it. I have mined Casper previously. And of course, Ravencoin and the Oxo
Right.
have great projects which have a lot of
Now,
promise. So yeah.
just so you know, a lot of my subscribers have probably subscribed because one way or another, they wanted to know more about Chia. Do you know
Yeah.
of Chia? Do you know of
I'm going
Chia?
to I'm going to be honest. I've heard of it, but I've never
Okay.
engaged with the project personally myself. So,
Really?
like,
Okay.
it's certainly one that I will be looking into now that you've given it a bit of a rubber stamp of approval. I'm going to have to go
Well,
away and have
I
a look.
wouldn't.
But
I
yeah,
mean, all right. I'm gonna say I'm very I'm torn between what I say sometimes about certain projects myself, right? So, but I'm never going to, like, if I have nothing good to say, I won't say it at all, right? But I fell into Chia, and obviously it's been going on for a year now. Some would argue the fact that it's profitable. Some will say it's not profitable. I'm like right in the middle, right? And the
mm,
fact that I have all this equipment running, right, hard drives. Now we're talking about hard drives now. We're not talking about GPUs anymore. So
mm,
it's a whole different aspect of it. The worst thing is that we're talking about mechanical hard drives. So, if you're in that field, they run into issues. They have problems. But then again, everyone will argue the same thing for GPUs, right? One way or another, something
yeah,
will fail, right? So, but yeah, I mean, you could definitely. I guess this channel has spawned off from that, but because I have great interest in GPU mining for certain coins, especially during the whole Ethereum hype, I literally had my GPU miner shut down for months from the summer till now because I couldn't find anything to mine. And I was really excited and glad and happy that I found Meowcoin for whatever reason. And I'm also happy and glad that you decided to join me and have this one-on-one discussion to tell me more about it. And I kind of, now that you're actually telling me all this great stuff, I'm actually believing in it even more. There were definitely projects in the past I put money into, not just mining, but just speculation, and they just happen to be
yeah,
rug pulls, right? I mean, we've all experienced that. We've all had our fair share of that. But just talking to you right now, and reaching out to you on Discord, no hesitation whatsoever. You were really straightforward, and we just got together, and I'm not even like, I'm not even getting paid to say any of this, but this project so far, speaking with you and looking at everything that's going on right now, is like, it's perfect. Like it's like it can't lose on the goal that you guys are trying to achieve. That's just my opinion. The last
yeah.
thing I want to
Thanks.
say is, how do we get one of those t-shirts that you're wearing, man?
Yes,
I mean, you want me,
yes.
I'll wear it too.
I will say that one of the things that we're going to do is have a we're going to tokenize some merchandise on the marketplace that we're about to launch. So I'm in talks with a couple of people to get some printed shirts done. They will
Awesome.
have QR codes on the back, and they will have the little
That
guy on
is
the front.
awesome. Awesome.
And we're really excited about that. So I will I promise I'll make sure that you know where to get one, and we'll make it happen. I personally think, and this is a little bit outside of project per se, I think there's a huge opportunity for tokenized merchandise, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
think about things like handbags or Nike Air Jordans and things like that, like how is that not tokenized yet? Like, how is that not on the blockchain
Yeah.
to identify it? Like, it's just an untapped market for people to really invest in. And I think a few people are going to double. They're going to do some interesting things. Something will take off, and
Definitely.
then bang, the whole rest of the industry will follow on. So, I personally want to kind of carve my little place with what we're doing with the shirts. We think they look cool, and then I'll be grateful to watch the industry sort of tackle that whole question.
All I have to say right now is that I have 7 6600 XTs mining Meowcoin right now. Don't be surprised whatsoever that going forward that I'll be doing more videos talking about Meowcoin and following their project just to see where it's going, where they're going to be taking this. And, I'm excited for it just to see everything that was mentioned here, the NFT, the arcades, and the merchandising. I want to see from these guys, from Andrew and his team, what they're going to be producing. So, Andrew, I appreciate you being here. I enjoy this whole conversation that we have. And I'm sure that we going forward, we'll definitely keep in touch in regards to all this great project and the whole Mealcoin itself.
Absolutely, mate. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to chatting to you soon.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll see you soon.